Former government auditor, in fact, Vinod Rai, is ready with his book titled Not Just an Accountant, slated for a 15th September release. If indications are anything to go by, the Congress and its allies would go to pad up for the 5th book bomb in the last 3 months.
2G, presumptive loss of 1.76 lakh crore rupees. Coal block allocation scam, notional loss of 1.86 lakh crore rupees. Commonwealth Games Delhi, 2,342 crore rupees lost to the nation. Astounding figures that became dinner table talk thanks to this man, the then government auditor Vinod Rai. 3 months since its ouster, we've seen a slew of book releases that have hurt an already crippled Congress. Each book giving an insight into the workings of the Manmohan-Sonia government. But the man who perhaps had the greatest contribution in exposing the allegedly corrupt government was Mr. Vinod Rai, whose tell-all book titled Not Just an Accountant is set to hit bookshelves and the Congress on September 15th. He claims to have had politicians come to his house to tell him not to name some people and to protect some others in connection with the CWG and the coal allocation reports. On the former Prime Minister's compulsions, he says governance could not be sacrificed at the altar of compulsion of coalition politics. It began with Sanjay Baru, the man who worked closely with the Prime Minister's office.
There was a briefing on issues and this was not a secret that he would actually meet her and take her views on issues before.
Then, former member of the now disbanded Planning Commission.
We had got an arrangement by which Mrs. Gandhi was required to have some say in the policies of this government.
Former Coal Secretary P.C. Parak, also under investigation in the coal scam, had a more revelatory take on the specifics of the case. And the latest Natwar bomb, the former minister claimed to have revealed the real reason behind Sonia's refusal to be Prime Minister.
He said that she would be killed like a father, like a mother-in-law, and as a son he won't allow her to become Prime Minister.
The Congress has denied, refused to comment, or chosen to brazen it out when each of these books were released. But coming from its long-time nemesis, the Congress would be bracing itself for what could well be a body blow. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
Well, to discuss this latest book bomb on the Congress, I have with me Samit Patra, national spokesperson of the BJP. Also joining us is Umesh Sehgal, former Secretary Government of India and Chief Secretary to the Delhi government. And now also joining us from the Congress party is Amiben Yagnik to represent the Congress side. Let me first go across to Amiben Yagnik itself. It seems that even after the poll debacle that the Congress party had to go through, there are these former bureaucrats, those who are coming with revelations after revelations on the functioning of the Manmohan Singh government and, of course, embarrassing the government. What is your reaction, first of all, to the latest allegations that Vinod Rai has made, the former CAG, who said that he was under pressure by the Congress government to skip some names?
There are several points here.
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yes, there are several points here. First of all, I think it is not a fashion, but it has become a pattern of these bureaucrats to come out with books. They talk about they were something that when they were in themselves in holding office. At that time, if they were so strong and they had this wonderful strength of coming out with the truth, why did they succumb to all these pressures at that time? They are doing it at a very belated stage, and any person of prudence would know that anything at a belated stage loses its practically every kind of sense, you know. And so that is the first point I would like to make. The second is the Congress is not shaken by these kind of books, because if these were the real issues, the persons, because we talk about the credibility of these persons, because their vicinity with the concerned government at that time, they would have definitely taken up a stand if they were so strong, and if they really wanted to do something good or service to the nation, because they are all bureaucrats. They are in the service sector. They are in the Indian administrative service.
All right.
They are doing a disservice by coming out at a belated stage with something that has no supporting evidence, no supporting documents, no names.
Strong comments there from the Congress representative.
One minute.
Let me bring it.
Please, one
very
minute.
Quickly.
No,
very
I am
quickly.
not through. I am not through. Yeah, you can't say politicians came and pressurized me. It's like a victim coming and saying that the accused came, and then the people connected to the accused came and pressurized me. You are supposed to come out with the names. You are supposed to come out and tell the truth. So you were doing a disservice while you were in service of the Indian administrative
of the
service.
Congress party is simple that if Mr. Rai have some names, he should come out with that. Samit, you're smiling there. Of course, you would be. There has been CAG, of course, with all these revelations when Vinod Rai came up in his reports that many think were the coffin in the nail of the Congress party before election, and now after he has retired, he's coming out and he has made some startling allegations. What will the BJP stand on that?
See, I was smiling and laughing because he generally composed, a friend of mine from the Congress, Ami Bain Yagnik, never shouts and never shouts and gets out of the way. But today, no, with respect,
I was just making my point.
That is the result of the book bombs. You know, bomb after bomb.
Thank you for the observation.
No. Calm down. I understand. Bomb after bomb has been dropped on Congress, and the carpet bombing has left all the spokesperson and the Congress chief rattled to an extent.
Your language is too flowery.
No, this is not flowery. The books are too explosive.
Yeah.
Don't go on my language. But today,
I'll request you to please let Samit speak.
Ankit, the substance is, today the Congress stands exposed. Since years we have been speaking the same thing, that the Congress has been subverting the constitutional institutions of the country for its own benefit. And we have seen books after books, how people of eminence, and they are people of eminence. Right now, Ami Bain was saying that bureaucrats should not write books. It's a fashion for the bureaucrats to write books. Why? They are free citizens of this country. Anyone can write book. But it is not the prerogative of politicians alone to write books.
Point taken, but there will be questions on the timing of these books. I mean, as soon as they have limited office, they have come up with these allegations, isn't it?
Better exposed. Ankit, remember the rule of the game is better exposed than never. It is better to expose the truth at any point of time than to bury the truth in the ground for all times to come. And today, thanks to these books, we know that Pulak Chatterjee was carrying all the files from the PMO office to Madam Sonia Ji's home. Thanks to this book, we know as to why it was a sham sacrifice by respected Sonia Ji when she said that she did not want to become the Prime Minister. Thanks to this book, we know that the Prime Minister had no authority.
Mr. Sehgal in it, in fact, I beg your pardon, he's a former bureaucrat. Sir, the question that a lot of people are asking now is, all bureaucrats, those who are coming with all these disclosures, why now? Why after retirement? Why didn't they take any action at the time when they were in the power, if they were at that seat? Why did not they raise their voices then? It seems there is some audio problem with that line that we have, Mr. Sehgal. We'll try and reconnect that line. Samit, I'll ask this question to you, and then I'll go to Ami Bain Yagnik for a reply on that. The question is, if they were in the power, if they were on that seat at that time when these pressures and these pulls were being drawn to them, why didn't they come out with the truth at that time?
You know, I told you. I mean, that best would be answered by Vinod Rai himself. But as the rule goes, at some point of time, it is better that the truth is exposed than the truth to be buried for all times to come. And today, when all these things have come up in the public domain, I believe we stand our stand has been proved right. We have always been saying that Congress has used constitutional institutions for its benefit. And look at a Prime Minister, from being an accidental Prime Minister, the journey to a puppet Prime Minister where he has no authority. And one biggest question I would like to ask the Congress spokesperson today. I understand as a BJP spokesperson, as a politician, that there may be coalition of politics, coalition compulsions. But what were the compulsions of the Congress to stay back in power. If you had compulsions in politics, you should have let go of.
All right.
You should have thrown off power.
Let me take that question to Vivian Yagnik and also supplement it with just a small line there. The BJP has been again and again saying that despite there can be questions on the timing, there can be questions on why now, and all the why are they writing the books and so on and so forth. But more or less, all these books do show an insight, and all of them almost in a similar fashion, about how the Congress government was functioning. And to a lot of people, it's been a very dismal performance.
Well, I don't think so that you can evaluate performance of the UPA government on the basis of these books, which are written at a very belated stage. I would reiterate my point, and I would also bring it to a statement that when all these bureaucrats, we give them credibility for being strong. I repeat, because if they were strong and they wanted to give out the inside information, they could have done very well by coming out on their own. People do quit their places and start writing books and bring it to the people's notice. But why did they not do that? Why did they not take any action at that time? Why did they not bring it openly? They could have said it, if they have so much courage to come out with books without any supporting documents. And when Mr. Patra says that better late than never and they stand exposed, I don't think so. These are expressions
a very quick question before I go back to Samit. Do you think that this book, Vinod Rai, has been respected? He's a respected bureaucrat. His work in CAG has been widely respected. Do you think this book is going to further it will sort of hit the efforts of the Congress party for a resurgence? Remember, the state elections are just around the corner.
This is a question to me, Ankit?
That's a question to Ms. Yagnik, then I'll come to you, Samit.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think
if you talk about these scams, I think we have also seen the Supreme Court giving a directive that you may go for fresh auctions, and the auctions that were held thereafter have been absolutely very poor. So I think those presumptive losses have not been established yet. The trials are pending, and if you want to just decide and preempt all the judgments before the courts come to any conclusion, I think we may not just have a matter of academic discussions or debates. Let us go to the substance of the thing. Yeah. I understand the book after book is coming, and all the books, as you said, that they have got similar kind of writings in there, that they are talking about the inside working of the UPA. I am very surprised that one of them would have the courage at that time to get up and say that I do not like the working of the government, right. I quit, I resign, and I would like it to bring it to the people of the country.
Yeah, Samit, coming to you quickly there on that point, I was asking Ms. Yagnik also, the timing, of course, the state elections are just around the corner. This book, how will it, of course, going to hit the Congress party? They are trying to now get back after that poll debacle in the Lok Sabha elections. And also, to add to that, will the government in power as of now, will there be some sort of a investigation done to see who were these names who were pressurizing Mr. Rai to alter his report?
No, I believe that is best left to the government of the day. I cannot speak on the behalf of government. I can speak on behalf of the party.
As a political party, would you demand that?
Yes. Surely, we would all like to know the names of the people who had been pressurizing the former CAG, and I believe the prudence calls that probably Mr. Vinod Rai himself may declare the name. So I think let's have some time and let's wait for it. But the bigger question is the name of the book, the name of the book is not just an accountant. And from this, I want to derive one of the answers that my friend Ms. Yagnik was giving, that there were no presumptive loss. Remember, against CAG, you had gone to the Supreme Court saying that CAG cannot go on with all these kind of investigation, and the Supreme Court had said that CAG is the accountant in chief. He is not just a Munimji, and I believe probably from this connotation that the title of the book derives. So I believe the title itself is a big hit and a big jolt to the Congress's face. As far as deriving political benefits is concerned, I believe Congress is already a dead horse. No use flogging it further. Books may be written, but it's remember one thing: it's already a force which is almost at the verge end of finishing. Well, the final book has to be written by Sonia ji. Let us see when that book comes.
Of course, a lot of people would be waiting for that book, and of course, what happens to the Congress party, how does it hit them, will be decided in the upcoming elections. Very quickly, we have got the audio back with Mr. Sehgal. Sir, I just wanted to ask you one quick question. There are a lot of comments being made on all the bureaucrats, former bureaucrats, after they relinquished their position, coming out and writing the insider account. Do you think it's appropriate for people, for bureaucrats to come out with such sensational accounts? I don't think so that that link with Mr. Sehgal is back. All right, I'm coming to an end with this discussion. My time is completed now. Thank you so much, Samit Patra, for joining us on this, and also Ami Ben Yagnik for a discussion on whether